National Crime Records Bureau reported that total number of child pornography, rape and gang rape complaints lodged in National Cybercrime Reporting Portal from 1/3/2020 to 18/9/2020 is 13,244. National Commission for Protection of Child Rights reported that 420 cases of child sexual abuse were received by NCPCR from 1/3/2020 to 31st/8/2020 via online portals, helplines, and other media. Childline India Foundation, and other media that received 3941 calls were received by CIF regarding child sexual cases from 1/3/2020 to 15/9/2020. POCSO Act protects children from offences of sexual assaults, sexual harassments, and pornography. One of the most important provisions under this law is that any person who has apprehension that an offence under this law is likely to be committed or has knowledge that such an offence has been committed must report it to the appropriate authorities. It also states that any personnel of media, hotel, lodge, hospital, club, studio, or photographic facilities must report to authorities if they come across any material or object which is sexually exploitative of children. Failure to report under this law also leads to punishment with imprisonment and fine. Now let's talk about the law and the preamble. The Protection of Children from Sexual Offence Act 2012, Act number 32 of 2012. Preamble: An act to protect children from offences of sexual assault, sexual harassment, and pornography. Provide for establishment of special courts to trial of such offences and for matters connected therewith or incidental thereto. Whereas Clause number 3 of Article 15 of the Constitution inter alia empowers the state and whereas the Government of India has accessed on the 11th December 1992 to the Convention of the Rights of Children adopted by the General Assembly of the United Nations, which has prescribed a set of standards to be followed by all state parties in securing the best interests of the child. And whereas it is necessary for the proper development of the child that his or her right to privacy and confidentiality be protected and respected by every person by all means and through all stages of judicial process involving the child. And whereas it is imperative that the law operates in a manner that the best interests and well-being of the child are regarded as being of paramount importance and every stage to ensure the healthy physical, emotional, intellectual, and social development of the child. And whereas the state parties to the Convention of the Rights of the Child are required to undertake all appropriate national, bilateral, and multilateral measures to prevent the inducement and or coercion of the child to engage in any unlawful sexual activity, the exploitative use of children in prostitution or other unlawful sexual practices, the exploitative use of children in pornography, performances, and materials, and whereas sexual exploitation and sexual abuse of children are heinous crimes and needs to be effectively addressed, be it enhanced by the Parliament in the 63rd year of the Republic of India as follows. Short title, extent, and commencement. This act may be called as the Protection of Child from Sexual Offence Act 2012. It extends to be whole in India. It shall come into force on such date as the central government may, by notification in official gazette, appoint. In this act, unless the context otherwise requires, aggravated penetrative sexual assault has the same meaning as assigned to be in Section 5. Aggravated sexual assault has the same meaning as assigned to it in the Section 9. Armed forces or security forces means armed forces of the Union or the security forces or police force as specified in the schedule. Child means any person below the age of 18 years. Child pornography means any visual depiction of sexual explicit content involving a child which include pornographic video, digital or computer generated image indistinguishable from an actual child, and image created, adapted or modified but appear to depict a child. Domestic relationship shall have the same meaning as assigned to it in clause F of section 2 of the Protection of Women from the Domestic Violence Act 2005. Penetrative sexual assault has the same meaning as assigned to it in the section 3. Prescribed means prescribed by rules made under the Act. Religious institution shall have the same meaning as assigned to it in the religious institution. That's all. One of the most important provisions under this law is that any person who has apprehension that an offence under this law is likely to be committed or has knowledge that such an offence has been committed must report it to the appropriate authorities. It also states that any personnel of media, hotel, lodge, hospital, club, studio or photographic facilities must report to authorities if they come across any material or object which is sexually exploitative of children. Failure to report under this law also leads to punishment with imprisonment and fine.